Hello guys, I'm Hero and we're going to be playing Timber and Stone. I'm not really playing this as a let's play. I'm going to making this video to help people, try to get them farther along. I found this game to be quite complicated and I've died a bunch of times. I mean, you can see how many worlds I have, and I don't know, it's really hard. It's hard to me. So, let's get going with a new game. Let's call it Lost in the Woods. Confirm. And I like medium map size. Medium or large is good, and I think that just dictates how big the world is going to be inside of the game you're playing. Medium is definitely my favorite. I don't know if anyone else has this issue, but it takes forever to load for me. Like when I select the map size that I want. It'll lag a little bit. There we go. And it brings us to this map. Two key things to me for setting up a base, a place, is how much trees it has, like forest. The darker you get inside the green, the more heavily dense forest it is. So forest is one. This spot out here looks to be okay. And then another thing is how flat something is. When you hit the 3D view, it changes the whole way everything looks. And you want it to be as flat as possible because mountains tend to make it hard to like make a base and stuff. So we're gonna check here. Oh, rare iron, I don't like that. But frequent and abundant copper is good because for those of you that don't know, if you make tin and copper, you can make bronze, which is as good as, it's actually better than iron because it will mine all the same things. It just has a much better durability, and coal is also good. The only problem with this is we won't be able to make steel because iron will be so rare to find, but it should be okay. And as for the wildlife, the only thing that's really important are chickens, because archers are your best form of defense. Well, in my opinion, archers are the best form of defense. And you need chicken feathers to make arrows for your archers. So, but that's something you get into later. So let's confirm this. In topography, you see it's flat. That's always good. And trees, dense. Lots of trees is always good. Coastal, river. I mean, as long as it's coastal, because for food, farming is more of an end game sort of thing. Like after you've played a couple days, then you can rely on farming. But for the beginning of the game, I mean, you can't gather forever. Gather is definitely the most efficient for the first like day to 2 days. But yeah, ooh, I like this spot over here. It's a little island. I don't know if you can make bridges or anything, but if I make on this island, I'm not going to have any food. Let's see if we can find somewhere good. Well, actually, I like this whole thing, actually. It's very flat, which is always nice. I think I'm going to go over here. Another thing people always say for games like this is build towards the edge. That's because you'll be making a road that connects to the edge, and then on the road, you'll make what's called a haul. And it's just places where you'll get new settlers coming in. You get new settlers by having over 150 food or 150 food, and then after that it's random. And you also get traders that come and they give you resources. It's the only way to get stuff. Like, let's say you don't start with any wheat seeds. The trader will, maybe trade you wheat seeds or something. So, let's get started. I think we're gonna go, yeah, right here. Right here seems good. I like areas with lots of trees. Alright, let's start the game. It's always zoomed in super far. Okay, pause the game first off. There's just a couple things we gotta go over right now to get your game going and how you'd be successful. First, you have to hit escape and open up your options. Something important is I like to allow the game to run in the background because sometimes you hit times where you minimize or, well, I mean, like, even if you're windowed, like right now I'm full screen so it doesn't matter, but if you're windowed, you can allow the game to run while you're not clicked on it. Normally it would just stop it. Pause game when enemies are sighted. That's really important because, let's say, like, even if it's just a spider and he spots one of your guys, spiders don't do a lot of damage, but they will kill your people. I'd like to pause the game, so that means as soon as one of your little dudes sees a spider, it'll warn you and it'll freeze the game and it'll let you know that something's up so you can look for it. It's really useful at nighttime if you don't have lights and stuff. And I also pause the game on unit death, but hopefully nobody dies. For me, losing a person early is pretty much the nail in the coffin. So once you've changed those two, you're good. The save changes. The next important thing about this game is what your settlers are good for. So if we click on one, we have all these little tabs down here. They all open up to the same menu. You got information, profession, inventory, and preferences. The only thing inventory is really useful for is if you wanted someone to keep a weapon, like if you wanted an archer to have a bow, but you wanted him to be something else, like if you wanted to make a wood chopper, but he's also an archer, you can add a spare item. You can click spare weapon, longbow, and arrows, and then all you have to do is click on them and change it to an archer, and you'll be good. I mean, I'm assuming that you know most of the basics here. Other things, traits are important. Really, the best traits that you can have on somebody for doing your important jobs, like gathering food or doing things that are just, relatively important. Which, actually, food is the most important to me. An archer with bad vision. I actually had an archer with bad vision kill one of my own people. They were standing next to each other shooting a target dummy, and I don't know how he did it, but somehow he killed somebody. So, hard worker, that's always a good trait. Disloyal, weak back, strong back, charismatic, quick learner. You see, that's a good one. He's somebody that you want to remember because he's somebody that you're going to be using a lot for a lot of the important jobs, like mostly food gathering, though. The only thing that's really bad, which I don't have any, which is nice, is overeaters. Overeaters are terrible. They eat way too much, and it just murders your food. The next thing you can do is, you see I have stuff on bars here. It's mostly saved from other games, but you can hit resources. Let's say food is normally automatically there, I think. I don't remember if it is or not. But let's go to tools. See, we have our stone hammer. We click on it and we click track. So it'll tell me how many stone hammers I have. That sort of thing. Ooh, stone pickaxe. Wow, I got boned with the starting tools. Normally you start with good stuff. But see, I have enough resources to make. So foraging is really important for the beginning of the game. So I'm going to find my guy that has foraging. Oh, and the way you scroll is using the bracket keys, either one or two of the bracket keys to the right of P, and it'll scroll through. We're looking for a forager. I only saw level 2. Oh, that's not good. So we're going to make him a forager. And normally what I do is let him hunt chicken, or no, not chicken. Let him hunt boar and sheep for resources and food, just for the first day, because it'll get you lots of animal hair, and that will allow you to make lots of rope, which rope is really important for the beginning of the game because you need to make lots of things that take rope. We'll let him do his thing for the first day, and then we'll turn this off and gather berries for the next day. Another thing that's important is the reason why I have him gather berries isn't so much for food, it's because you get seedlings, and with seedlings, if you go under structures and decor, you can actually plant trees that will grow. They'll grow back, and your wood choppers are the ones that plant them, and then they grow back, and you can have it like inside your little town. And you're going to want to make a big wall around your base because you really need it to stop things from just walking in and killing you instantly. Okay, so let me get all these guys set in motion and doing what they're doing, and then we'll continue on. Alright, so as you'll notice, I've got all my guys, all their jobs are changed, except for her. I think I'm going to leave her as a farmer. Like I said, farming is like a sort of endgame thing. It's not super important in the beginning, but you need to get it going. Something important is to check what kind of seeds we started with. So we're going to go to design and go to farm, and then, wheat seeds, that sucks. Wheat is always good because you use wheat to feed animals. So if you want to have a lot of animals, you need to have some wheat. So hopefully we can get a trader that will come through. We do have a lot of food, it seems. Yeah, we have a lot of food seeds, which is good. Ooh, flax. Flax is good because you can use flax to make rope as well. Which rope is, I mean, in the beginning of the game you need a lot of it because you make a lot of fishing poles and stuff, but you don't really need a whole ton of it towards the end. I mean, I used most of it to make ladders, because your builders use ladders to, build more than 2 high, so you don't have to have blocks next to it. Okay, so we have, let's check where my people are right now. We have that one farmer, we have 3 wood choppers. The reason I do that is because I like to have a lot of wood choppers in the beginning, because I get a lot of wood really fast, and then I kind of coast on it. Like I'll build some places that will hold my max amount of wood, and then I'll coast with that for like most of the game because most of the stuff that I build is out of stone, or raw stone, rather. I mean, so we have 3 wood choppers, and I think I have 2 miners, I guess. Let's see. You're a miner, you're a miner, and you are also no, you're a carpenter. Okay, so 2 miners and 3 wood choppers. Okay, so now we're gonna get these guys doing stuff. What a lot of people do is they just click on the people and they click preferences and they click chop trees independently. I mean, that's not a terrible thing to do, but it's after a while, when stuff starts spawning on its own in the map, you'll have people all over the place. Like, they'll be way over here, and they'll get killed. So what I do instead is, if you hit design and you go to chop, it gives you this little thing, and then you can, select an area at which they'll cut trees, and then it turns red, they're cutting it. So just do everything around your base. Get that done really quick. Oh, we missed one. If you leave the tree stumps on the ground, they will grow back, but I don't like to, because I clear them out because I normally build my own base. So I don't really care about the tree stumps being around, just because, like I said, you collect seedlings, you make trees, and then, that whole kind of thing. So it looks like most of the wood is going to be up in this area. Same thing with mining, basically. It works the same exact way. We'll just get some of these guys here. That'll probably be more than enough trees for the beginning of the game. That's how I normally do it. So this being highlighted, the people, they'll walk around and they'll cut all the trees that I've highlighted. Let's do same thing with mining. Design, dig, mine. And then there's 2 ways you can do this. You can select each one of these blocks individually like this, do each layer. Or you can start, let's say, on the bottom, like right here, go over. And if you hit page up and page down, it lowers and raises, the terrain thing. Now, what I normally do is, well, I changed from page up and page down because it wasn't working for me, so I changed it to arrow key up and arrow key down. And I like to get it level, just for the starter. So we're not going to dig into the ground, we're just going to get it level. So you see, you have all that selected. So now this means he's only going to mine these rocks, and he won't mine any more until I tell him to mine more. Oh, another important thing, which I had to do some researching, to undo one of these blocks, like to stop it from mining, like say you mine something you didn't want to, you click once, like you're going to, make the thing, and then you hit Shift Alt. You click again, and it turns it yellow. See? Shift Alt, and it turns yellow, and that will undo the mining. That took me forever to find out, so that's a helpful hint. Let's go back. I was talking about roads. You connect a road to the edge of the map like so. I like to make mine 2 or 3 large. Probably 3 large will be good. And your people will walk faster on roads, but other than that, I mean, they don't really have a use. They just walk faster while they're standing. While they're standing on the roads. And then the hall, which is basically the same thing, you have to make sure that your hall and your road is overlapping somewhere. I normally go 2 blocks in, but it doesn't really matter. It can be 1 block. So there we go. So our road's made. We have our guys mining, chopping. Might as well start my farming because I'm going to need food early. Let's go with... What do I feel like? I like carrots. I feel like carrots are good. We're going to do carrots. So, I mean, if you've played this game this far, you probably understand how this works. You just click and drag, and that zone is for carrots. I like to get at least 2 going, so we're going to do carrots and turnips. So there we go. Now, they'll plant our carrots and turnips. Now, about making resources. I actually had one game where I used all the resources, and I ran out of tools because I messed it up. So, things that we need that are important. If we have 1 wood chopper, who I'm assuming has an axe, hopefully. It doesn't look like they do. Yeah, okay, so we have 1 axe, and we have 1 pickaxe. For the beginning of the game, it's really careful that you pay attention to this thing. We need 1 knife, so we're going to add 1 to Q. It's there. So we got our 1 knife for our forager, so we can go and kill stuff and pick us things up. Everyone has hammers, so we have like 9 hammers. Now we need to get... Let's do 1 stone axe and 1 stone pickaxe, just to be sure. And then after you have those set in, Then you can come back to your axes, you know, make 3 or 4 of them just so that you have them. And there we go. Now this is the basic setup for my game. You know, you have to, oops, didn't mean to move him. You're gonna have to wait a little bit for all this stuff to go. That's gonna be all for this episode. The next episode will actually start the game, get it going, and we'll use all the things that we talked about. So, see you there.